Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. It's very exciting at the moment in Sea Power because we've just had our second 2000s era vessel added. The first was the Arleigh Burke Flight 2A, and now we have the venerable Royal Navy Type 45 destroyer. The Arleigh Burke was made by Mitchell 600 and the Type 45 by Maneuver Warfare, and I'll put the download links in the video description if you want to try them out for yourselves. In real life, of course, the Arleigh Burke Flight 2A entered service or was commissioned in the year 2000. In total, 74 Arleigh Burke hulls were made over the various flights. The Type 45, or the Daring class, was much more sparingly made. 6 were planned, 6 were built, starting with HMS Daring, commissioned 2009. Before we fight, we need to do some technical details so we can make some predictions. So first, the Type 45, known as the Daring class, her primary surface-to-air weapon is the Aster 30, a two-piece surface-to-air and surface-to-surface missile, max range 104 nautical miles. For close-in, we have CAM, a very interesting missile based on the AIM 132 ASRAM, max range 14 miles, anti-surface and anti-aircraft. Now it says here semi-active radar homing. I thought that CAM was active radar homing, so please let me know which is true. In terms of anti-surface, this variant has the RGM-84 Harpoon, 8 of them, max range 65 miles. In real life, we use, I think, a more modern variant of the RGM-84 with a longer range, but for today's battle, it's going to make almost no difference. Anti-submarine, we have lightweight US Mark 46 torpedoes. We have a naval gun, of course, on the bow, a 5-inch Mark 45 gun, range 13 nautical miles. And finally, close in, 20mm Sea Whiz. Next, Arleigh Burke Flight 2A, presumably the world's most successful contemporary destroyer. We have several weapons in this fit. In fact, it's a really interesting fit. A note about fits, viewers. A lot of you say that the fits that I use, or the armament that I use, is inefficient for the battles that I use and I should change them. Well, I can't. I'm stuck with the fit that comes in Sea Power, viewers. And they're generally kind of general purpose fits that cover everything. TLAM, TASM, long range, close range and whatnot, so it is what it is. For maximum range, really interesting missile, RIM 156A SM2 ER Block 4, the predecessor to what we now know as the SM6. An almost unbelievable range of 230 nautical miles, of course a two-piece boosted missile, anti-surface and anti-aircraft, and it's probably not going to be used today because it's generally only used at long range. We also have from the VLS, and I should say both destroyers are obviously VLS equipped, RIM 66M SM2 MR Block 3. It's going to be its mainstay defense, anti-aircraft, anti-surface, max range 90 miles. We have a RUR 5 Azarok, no use today. For close in, we have the third type of missile, RIM 7VL Sea Sparrow, range 16 miles. We have TLAM and TASM, many TLAMs, but they're not going to be used today, obviously. TASM, we have 8 of them, range 200 plus miles. Mark 46 is going to be the same anti-submarine torpedo as the British contemporary Mark 45 gun, 5-inch, the same 13 miles. And finally, the same Mark 15 phalanx for defence. Let's have a look at the vessels in 3D. First, Arleigh Burke Flight 2A. Of course, she has Mark 41 VLS 4 and aft, containing 8 RIM 156A, 46 RIM 66M in this fit. We have a pretty measly 8 RIM 7VL. TLAM, we have 24. TASM, only 8. 8 Azarok torpedoes. 16 Mark 46 torpedoes. 10 million 20mm rounds. 620 5-inch rounds. And of course, self-defense. Speaking of self-defense, we've dug into it a little bit with help from guys on the community, and I've got to say, viewers, at this point, what a community Sea Power is. I don't know if it's because it's a relatively small community or what, but everyone I've spoke to in Sea Power at every level, including the developers, are just so nice. All people want to do is help. No one wants to rip you down and try and put you out of business. It's so weird and refreshing. So thus far, really good news about the Sea Power community, and touch wood, it stays like this. Then viewers, the British Type 45, we have in its VLS here 48 Aster 30s, no Aster 15s interestingly, 24 cams, 8 RGM-84 Harpoons, which are these guys here of course. We have the Mark 46, the phalanx, and I should have said the Arleigh Burke had 2 phalanx, one fore, one aft, whereas the Type 45 has them amidships here and here. We have the naval gun, 620 rounds, and some self-defense. And I just realised I interrupted myself. I was talking about self-defense, electronic warfare, viewers, which you guys have been teaching me about. Thank you very much for that. In Sea Power, there are various types of electronic warfare defense modelled, some active, some passive, and I'm really surprised about how highly it's modelled. Now, how realistically it's modelled, obviously, I don't know. Most of us are not going to know. But I'm quite excited at how well it's been done, how much detail. So maybe we'll do a video about that at some point and test the different types of electronic warfare defense that we have. Anyway, the model itself, well, great. That is a Type 45 Daring class destroyer. It looks pretty good. But then you start to look a little bit closer and you start to realise it's not quite right. Look where the exhaust stacks are, look how many exhaust stacks there are, and so on. And you suddenly start to realise it's not a Type 45 at all. It's actually this, an old US Kid class destroyer. And what the developer has done is basically kit bashed it, so taken a Kid class and added bits onto it to make it look like a Type 45. And I think it's actually quite good. It's not as well made as the Arleigh Burke, obviously, which is the perfect hull. But this, at first glance, does actually look like a Type 45. In fact, it fooled me, and I've used really high detail Type 45s in DCS. So kudos to the mod maker for doing this. Out of interest, I'd love to know how you do it, viewers. I don't want to do it myself because I've simply got no time at all in life anymore to do it. But I'd love to know how you actually go and add polygons and stuff to a ship like this to make that look like that. I think it's really well done. So again, kudos to the mod maker for putting the effort in. It shows what's going to be possible. Right, anyway, we need to do our fight, viewers, so let's get back to that. Our roleplay for today is a rogue Burke Flight 2A captain has decided he just hates the British way of doing things. He's sailed across the Atlantic and he's attacking on his own. Only one guy can stop him. HMS Daring is putting herself in the way. In terms of setup, it's our usual 50 miles between vessels because it's a distance that just works. We've proved it over time. The vessels will be able to see each other from the start. We have a non-combatant submarine spotting the red and some AWACS spotting the blue, so they'll be able to fire straight away. Both will be controlled by AI with no input from me to keep it fair, which is very important, viewers. In terms of predictions, well, we have 2 more or less equa-sized and equa-performance destroyers with pretty much the same weaponry. In fact, both have 8 subsonic anti-ship missiles, 1 Tomahawk, 1 Harpoon. Which is better? Honestly, I don't know, so we'll have to find out. Both have excellent defense. 1, the European Aster, 1, the American Rim series missiles. So for me, it's probably a 50-50. We'll play on the blue side because we have no choice. It's the only way we can do it, the way things are set up and the weapons that are going to be used, but we won't interfere. As ever, the gentleman's agreement, the ship with the slowest surface-to-surface missiles will be allowed to fire first, and I'm pretty sure that's the Arleigh Burke by a few knots. So let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, I counted 4 and 2, so 6 Tomahawks fired. Let's unleash the Daring. Interestingly, so slowly the surface-to-surface missiles are being shot off, but also we've got some Asters shot off, so presumably the Asters were oh, we've got some rims. What's going on here? Right, so both are shooting their surface-to-surface missiles, but also their anti-air missiles, and that's probably because when both the Tomahawk and the Harpoon are fired, they rise up temporarily. They're probably spotted on the opposition radar and missiles are shot at them, but then they dive down again, so I'm not sure whether they're actually going to have any effects. Let's follow the Aster 30, played today by an SM1 body with Aster credentials. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. So they were shot at when the missiles were first fired, but when the surface-to-surface missiles went down low, sea-hugging, they lost their track and of course became useless, so probably just wasted missiles, but so be it. So we've got how many Harpoons were fired? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the same amount as the other destroyer fired. Now, what is it that determines how many missiles are fired, viewers? I haven't actually figured that out yet, and I've had kind of weird results, but in this case, they're both kind of 9,000-ton big destroyers, and both were shot 6 missiles, so maybe it's to do with tonnage. Let me know your thoughts, please, viewers. The RIM 66M SM2s have gone dumb again for the same reason. Look at them, really gone dumb, doing loops in the sky. That's so funny. That's because you've got no track. In real life, what would happen? I suspect they would probably detonate. They would force to blow up, but they don't do that in sea power. 6 missiles from each side. What's going to do better, the Tomahawk or the Harpoon? Well, the Harpoon is 56 feet, 570 knots. The Tomahawk, I know, is 550 knots, and I think it flies a little bit higher, but I stand to be corrected. So I think the Harpoon will probably do a little bit better, but we'll see. I guess we can probably speed that up. In fact, we can now see the opposition, or we've identified the exact opposition. Of course, it is the Arleigh Burke Flight 2A. Why don't we watch from her for a little bit? When does she send her defensive missiles out? Well, of course, once she sees the hostile missiles coming over the horizon. Based on the height of our antenna, I'm going to guess that would be... No, that won't be the antenna, will it? It will be the phased array. Well, there's a weak point I've just spotted of kind of phased array Aegis ships, viewers. Thinking about it, that the radar is very low down because it's these facades here, isn't it? Whereas a traditional kind of 3D search radar, mast-mounted, would be all the way up here, and that would hugely affect the height over the horizon, distance over the horizon it can see. I'd never thought about that before, but that's a thing, isn't it, viewers? So Type 45 has her radar. It's I don't know what kind, it's Samson radar. I don't know if it's phased array or whatever it is, but whatever it is, it's really high. So she's going to see targets over the horizon, presumably before this guy does. Now, in real life, of course, this would be part of a battle group of some kind. It would have AWACS and stuff like that. But today, it's one-on-one. Here we go. So both have spotted their incoming missiles. No, take that back. Type 45 has spotted the incoming missiles. Why is she not defending herself? She's weapons-free. Pause. Let me just make sure everyone's set up all right. She's weapons-free. Arleigh Burke. Oh, it's AI controlled. So it will be weapons-free. And look, just fire. So interestingly, for some reason, despite what I've said about the radars, that Arleigh Burke has to fire first. Do we have a problem with Type 45? This is the first time I've tried this, viewers. I try not to script these when possible because I like to be surprised because it makes it more honest. I have a horrible feeling that she can't fire. Let's have a look at the TASM. It's 86 feet. There's no reason, and they're not stealthy. There's no reason why Daring can't fire. Oh dear. Have we found a big problem, viewers? I hate finding big problems. Also, there's only one of them. Probably just because she's only spotted one of them, right? No, she's not firing. Oh, damn and blast, viewers. Damn and blast. Well, I can't do much about that, I'm afraid. Arleigh Burke is easily taken care of. There we go, we're firing. Pause. Now, at what distance did we fire at? Arleigh Burke's obviously taken all of our harpoons at long distance. Her defences are just so dang good. In sea power, at least. Now, we fired at this missile at 10 miles. That's pretty disappointing. That's really disappointing. We'll see something like this over the horizon much further away. Don't know why that is. Okay, so what have we got out? Cams played by... Oh, SM1s as well. That's strange. And we've lost her off radar. What's happening? What's wrong with our Samson radar? What's wrong with our battleships today, viewers? Relying on a naval gun, that's... Oh, dearie me. I did not see this coming, viewers. I did not see this coming at all. Cams are out. Come on, shoot the dang things down. Okay, that's some excellent camming. Shame they had to leave it so dang close. I mean, look, we were intercepting it at 3 miles. I would much rather see some better interceptions than that. All right, and these guys would just... I don't know why these guys would fight. Oh, yes, to intercept some more of these. Right, well, what we've discovered there is obviously both ships have much better defense than they do surface-to-surface offense, which is, of course, these vessels are designed to protect aircraft carriers and, you know, protect other action groups and whatnot. So obviously they've got better defense and offense. So we'll just quickly see it through. Well, what happens next? We close into gun range, I guess. Pause. Sorry, another interesting point. I was talking about electronic warfare and there being several different types modeled. That includes these guys here. The missiles have electronic warfare jammers on as well, viewers. So there's quite a lot going on. And now I don't really know how it works in game because I don't go into the mechanics of it because I don't have any time anymore. But it's just nice to know that stuff there is modelled, right? I think it is anyway. Right, I've no doubt that the Arleigh Burke has fired her TASMs as well. They just take a little longer to get there for whatever reason. Speak of the devil and she shall appear. Almost certainly not going to be a problem unless our cams go weird. Oh, we do like leaving it till the last minute, don't we, viewers? What is that all about? That's so weird. Well, we leave it to the last minute, but our defence is pretty solid. Right, anyway, there you go. Let's fast forward the game until... Oh, look, the Arleigh Burke's disappeared. Do your job, submarine. If you're wondering why I put submarines and stuff, it's so that I can see that. I know there are abilities to go in and use a cheap view, but I kind of like it like this. I prefer not knowing, so if I can't see that guy there, I like to not be able to see that guy there. I don't know. Weird, old-fashioned. I just like it like that. Right, the sub-distance line from him to him. 37 miles. Well, the next thing that will happen is going to be, presumably, naval guns at 13 miles. Possibly a bit before that, we should have surface-to-air missiles being used in their surface-to-surface capacity, which I think all missiles we've got today can do that. Not sure about the Sea Sparrow. So I don't know who's going to win. But one problem I've spotted is that for some reason, Arleigh Burke seems to be able to shoot over the horizon at much longer distances. Let me know your thoughts on that, viewers, why that is, but my understanding, taller radar should be able to fire further. Alright, 30 miles. We've lost the Arleigh Burke again. 25 miles. Someone's going to see someone. They're all set to free fire still. No, sorry, that's completely wrong. That's not. That slipped off that guy when he disappeared. So they actually saw each other at 8 miles. Now that's so weird, viewers, because I am almost certain that warships can see warships well over the horizon, that visually you can. Usually they can see each other about 20 miles because A, they're tall, and that means, you can see further over the horizon, and B, because radar actually bends around the Earth's curvature, not a huge amount, but by a degree or so, giving it a few extra miles of detection. So it's weird that this is happening. Let me know your thoughts on that again, viewers. But anyway, they've seen each other both exactly the same time at 8 miles. Who's going to win now? Let's slow it back down and see what's being fired. Astra 30 being fired, naval gun being fired, Propulsion Cam being fired, Americans, RIM 66 being fired, Sea Sparrow is indeed being fired. Well, this is a interesting way to end, viewers. Astra's going to get there first and has hit. Oh, it's going to go too fast. Oh no! Oh god! Oh god! Oh dear! Right. Everyone killed everyone within about 2 seconds. Or did they? Okay, Arleigh Burke was completely destroyed, as in she's sinking, but she's still got missiles on the way. Will they track? I doubt they will, because they're semi-active radar homing, which means they need a mothership to illuminate. Type 45 is under serious threat. Now, the damage model is presumably just a kid damage model, so we can assume it's, pretty realistic. Damage control. Wow, we got away with a lot there, viewers. We did it, and we're still alive. Now, is that realistic, viewers? I don't know, obviously. Isn't Astra better at anti-shipping than a standard missile? Probably not, is my view there, viewers. But either way, in sea power, it won with relative ease. So, at long range, neither won, or it was a draw, because both have much better defense than offense. We all knew that at the beginning. It was kind of obvious, really. And then when we closed, for some reason, strangely, they only saw each other at 9 miles, but when they did, they fired the same, and for whatever reason, Type 45 smashed Arleigh Burke, and not the other way around. Let's move on to our obligatory broadside galleon battle. Welcome in, viewers. We like to end with a galleon broadside battle because it's fun. And fun is still important, viewers. I've upped it to 4 each side. I tend to do just singles when it comes to the missile battle, because sea power can get confused when you've got multiples against multiples. Get some odd results. But this bit's purely for fun. If you're wondering why they're already firing by the time I get in, annoyingly, sea power has a few seconds delay before I get in to stop them. So they've already had a few seconds to start firing. You guys have said, well, put them on weapons hold, both sides, get in and then turn them to free fire, but that doesn't work either, viewers, because what happens is the side controlled by AI will automatically turn itself to weapons free before I can change my side to weapons free, so that gives them an advantage. So it is what it is, we have to put up with it. Who's going to win? Same size boat, same size gun, same size sea whiz. It's a draw, right? Don't know, let's find out. Certainly very pretty, viewers. Wow, look at that. Standard missiles just smashing in. Who's won? Is it the British again? For some reason we can't see. Oh, there they are. Oh, it's still on. It's very much still on. Wow, what a galleon fight, viewers. Type 45 taking an absolute smashing. Look at that naval gunfire. That said, the only ones dead so far are the Arleigh Burkes, but they're still going. All that damage, they're still firing. What meaty, meaty modern vessels, viewers. Arleigh Burke very much developed as a Cold War vessel. Late 80s, early 90s. Interestingly, the Type 45, which is kind of a similar vessel and design, really. Very much post-Cold War. Right, everyone's lost the ability to fire. All are alive apart from one, but everyone's lost their radars, their fire control systems. So I guess we now just sit and watch. Now, I know that Type 45s were built from, I think, about 2001 to 2009, but when were they actually designed, viewers? I don't know. Please let me know. I don't know that. Okay. Oh, wow. 3 Type 45s have gone up, or gone down, shall I say. Fully going down. 1 alive. Oh, and it's receiving naval fire. Someone's got their gun back online. Pump, pump. Shooting him with tennis balls. Stop shooting me with tennis balls. 2 Arleigh Burkes now, fully gone down. Still not quite over. Is this guy going to sink? Come on, Brits, be buoyant. You've got such a plucky, buoyant attitude, or you have, used to have anyway. Don't sink. No, 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 no. We've lost. Americans win the Galleon Battle. All right. So, at the beginning, the long-range missile battle was completely fruitless, as I guess we expected. Then we closed, and the British won. Then we had a Galleon Battle, and the Americans won. Well, 2-0, basically. Better gun, tougher ship. Don't know. Let me know what you think. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that, and bye-bye.